Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here. And this video topic I've actually covered before, and I'm going to play a clip because this was a video that I've actually seen 2 weeks ago, and I'm just getting around to doing it. The woman in the video is basically asking why black men do not speak to black women when they're out. So I'm going to go ahead, play the clip, and then I'm going to come back and once again provide, my perspective on it, because I've already covered this kind of not as a focal point in previous videos, but I've touched on this topic. So without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to the video, and then I'm going to just come back and just provide her with a response. Hopefully she'll see it, but I will caveat and say this. This woman did come back and provide a response or a follow-up video to this one because she actually read the comment section. She actually understood men's point of view. I guess men provided her with constructive feedback, which is good. You never want to attack people. And I'm glad that, hopefully the men provided her with some, respectful feedback. And it seems like she responded in kind. She did a nice follow-up video basically saying that she understood men's perspective, and then she did issue an apology. And I don't really believe that an apology was necessary. It was just that was her opinion at the time, and now she has a better understanding. So without further ado, let's play the video.
Hey y'all, I got something to say. I'm wondering if anybody else experiences, and now I just left from the store, particularly Whole Foods, no big deal. And there was a young black man that walked through the parking lot. He looked to his left, he looked to his right, and then quickly turned away. To his right was another black woman, and he looked straight at me. Of course, I'm a black woman. And then as I go into the store, I see another black man, and I tend to get this every time I'm in the grocery store. What is the problem with brothers speaking to black women? Now, there was a sister in the store, and she looked me in the eye, and hey, how you doing? How you doing? Another black woman, hey, how you doing? How you doing? But when it comes to black men, they turn their heads so quickly as to think that like every black woman is desperate, or, oh, I don't want to say hi. She might think that I'm trying to talk to her. What is up with that? Somebody needs to help me out with that. What is wrong with when you see another black person just to speak? And not because you're not looking me in the eye, but you're looking me in my eye. You're actually looking at me, glancing, and then you turn away.
So as you can see in the video, she's basically saying that when she's out, her and other black women speak to each other, but she notices that black men will make eye contact with her and immediately look away, and they won't speak, and she's just wondering why that's the case. And trust me, I'm kind of the male, I'm kind of her polar opposite, because I'm a black male, 45 years of age, and as you all, if you've been paying attention to any of my videos, that I've made in the past, you'll know that I kind of noticed the same thing too, but with black women. Black men will speak to me. We have that camaraderie. Hey, how you doing? They'll speak. And when I get with black women, they do not speak at all. And prime example, so today is Friday, June 7th. I was just out walking. As I go walking, not every day, but I go walking probably every other day, or every third day maybe. I'll get in my walk. But this even started way before then. When I'm in my office, because I go into the office and work, when I go into the office and I'm in the hallway, when you're in a hallway, of course, you're in like a tunnel, right? So you can see everything if you got your head up, because, the way I was taught, you don't walk with your head down. You walk with your head up, you look around, you look at your surroundings. So I'm looking and I see black women in the hallway, and a white man will pass them and they will be smiling. Energy levels are up and they're smiling. They give the white man eye contact and they'll say, hey, how you doing? And then when they come to me, immediately the head goes down and they just stare at the ground and they walk past me. Or they'll just stare straight ahead, their face is stern, and it's just a different look. And then I'll say, hey, sometimes I'll say, hey, how you doing? And then that just got to the point where, since I wasn't getting feedback, I just stopped speaking. But once again, I'll say I'm just used to speaking to people. That's what I do. I believe that it is just common courtesy to speak to people. And it's just, it's just what I do. I speak to everyone. And it's not that I'm hitting on people. And sometimes I do probably want to find my foot in the door to hit on, a woman, but not in every scenario. It's just, sometimes I'm just speaking just to say hi, especially if we're walking down a corridor and we're coming face to face with one another. And so I've noticed also too, I've told people about this story when I'm in the grocery store. I will be literally behind a woman in the line. She'll be getting rung up at the cash register. And, I'll hear the cashier say, "Hey, how you doing?" to the woman. And then when I get up to the register, they just start ringing my stuff up. And then they'll just tell me whatever the price is, and then I'll pay it. And then, I don't get a thank you, come again, or I don't get any kind of follow-up. It's just, they just tell me what the price is. And they got their disposition is off. And I've experienced that on several occasions in stores. And in some of the comment sections when I've been posting my experiences, other Black men have experienced this. I just thought it was because I was just so hideous looking that women just didn't speak to me.
So my question of the day is, why are people so entitled? Like, what is wrong with people? What be going through their head? I'm delivering my mail. I walk into one of the businesses. A customer comes out while I'm walking in. And the first thing he says when he sees me is, "You ain't gonna smile today?" Who are you? First of all, no, I'm not gonna smile. Second of all, because why? Like, that is one thing that annoys my soul. Stop telling me to smile. I don't want to smile. I smile when I feel like smiling. I cannot stand it.
Third thing, like I told you, today is June 7th, 2024. I just went for a walk today. I got off of work. And then when I got off work, I immediately went for a walk because I like to sometimes get my walk in. And before I went back to the house. And so as I'm walking, and this has happened to me on several walks. When you're walking and you're in a walking trail where other people walk, literally I passed this one Black sister twice. And she did both times. She kept her head. The first time, both times she actually just focused on her phone. When she walked past me, and I wait to kind of, I anticipate, potential eye contact, as you're approaching somebody about maybe 20 feet from each other, and I'm kind of anticipating it. And, but I'm not focusing, staring at the person, but I'll just kind of, keep my eye, prepared, and the whole time she just looked at her phone and then just passed me. And then the second time I noticed she did the same thing. And I walked on a walking trail, and I passed multiple people, and a few Black women did speak. But this is what I noticed. I'm going to say this. They're either older Black women that speak. And when I say older, I'm talking about they look like they're about 60. So they spoke. And then I noticed that it was a Black woman with her daughter in a stroller, so it seemed like she was married, so she spoke. Well, she at least has a child because it was a young child in a stroller. And I kind of spoke to the child. So I guess when she saw me interact with the child, then I looked at the mother, and then she was smiling because I was smiling, waving at her daughter. So I smiled at her and she smiled back. And then I noticed too, women that are, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, but women are just that look average looking. They're and not to say that they're not cute, but they're just kind of either they're, heavy set, or they're kind of a little bit, in that regular average range. They're not like, I would say nothing wrong with being, like I said, nothing wrong with being average, because most people are average. I consider myself average, maybe slightly below. But that's what I've noticed. When you look at a woman that is relatively attractive, and I'm going to also say this too, I'm going to say this, it's not just Black women. So let me point that out too, and I should have said that probably earlier. This is what there was an Asian woman on the trail. She looked to be possibly Filipino, a lighter skinned Filipino, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's from Thailand. I don't know. But she didn't speak, and she was attractive. And there was a white woman. And I noticed this too. Women, when they're with a man, they do not speak. The man will speak, they won't speak. And I just kind of find that disrespectful. It's like I'm waving at both of y'all. But I noticed that there was two women. There was a white woman with a man. She didn't speak. There was a sister with a man. There was two sisters actually with men. And one woman was on a bicycle and felt the need that she didn't need to move over. I don't know why you want to ride side by side with somebody on a walking trail and try to force me to walk in the grass. That was, I find that very disrespectful. When you anticipate approaching someone, you should fall back on that bicycle and ride single lane. And I guess she just felt as though I was nothing and I needed to walk in the grass. She didn't speak. And like I say too, attractive women, they do not speak. And when I say attractive, I mean probably a woman that's above average. She's above average. I have noticed that on several occasions. Literally, I was out one day and I needed directions to someplace. I forgot where I was walking. I was walking around, and this was actually, I was out of town. I was actually in LA, walking around in LA. And when I was in LA, there was two black women, two black females. They were about in their 30s. One of them was, I would say she was about an 8. She was about an 8, a good solid 8. That's high. That's pretty high. And the other one was about a 6'5", 5'6", but she was still cute. But she was a 5'6". And I just stopped and said, excuse me, to both of them. Mind you, the more attractive one was closer to me. And she just immediately looked ahead and like kind of kept walking. And then the other one stopped. And then I just asked for the directions to where I needed to go. And then she pointed me there, and her friend just kept on walking. Literally left her there standing with me. And then I said, okay, thank you. And then she went on her way and I went on mine. And I just felt as though that was very, very disrespectful. And that's the encounter that we have, or at least that I have as a man. And that's why I got to the point where now when I go out, even if I see a woman that I'm romantically interested in, I don't approach them. Because, we have gotten such treatment from, and like I say too, I don't approach white women for dates. I'm not approaching Asian women for dates. I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in black women. But it's kind of like black women treat you like crap. They literally do. It's kind of like, wow. I mean, I don't know whether they think that I'm going to try to talk to them, whether they've had so many bad experiences with other men that they just assume that I'm some kind of thug or creep. I don't know, but that's still no excuse to treat everyone else like crap. It's still not, regardless of, that's like me assuming that my experiences with women are so bad that I'm just going to just treat women like crap. I can't treat the next woman like crap because other women have treated me like crap. I have to treat every individual and give them the benefit of the doubt. But that's what's going on when you see men not talking. And I don't know what other men, I can't speak for other men. So other men, you're going to have to chime and put comments in my comment section to give the women feedback. And women, if you have feedback too, please put them in the comment section. But that's been my experience. I get very little smiles, very little polite looks. They just look like they don't want to be bothered. And especially if two women are together. If they're together on the walking trail, or if they're together out and about, or together walking down the hall, they still feel as though they don't need to speak. I guess they feel as though we're talking with each other. I don't need to say hi to anybody else. And I just find that kind of disturbing and kind of disheartening. And I'm bringing all of this up to say this, to wrap this up, is that I think that's why I see so many black women with white men now. I was just out the other night, and there was another black woman with a white guy. And once again, there's nothing special about this white guy. And this black woman was very nice looking. And so that's what kind of just confuses me, is that the black woman will give these average looking white guys play. As a matter of fact, she was wearing tennis shoes, and he was wearing, like, the white boy boots. He had on some jeans, but had on some white boy boots, but they had little heels on the back. And she was still about an inch, maybe a half an inch taller than him. They were the same height, if not, she was a little bit taller. And definitely her hair, because she had, naturally curly hair, and it was frizzy, kind of like Khalees. And once again, I told y'all about these light-skinned black girls. They going for white men hard. She was with a white guy. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because of this. I think what's happening is black men and black women are in a position or in a space now where we're uncomfortable with one another. When I've heard black women say that they don't think that black men like them. So I think when they go out, they're kind of guarded because it's kind of like, I don't know if this man is going to be interested in me. So I think that they're either hesitant to give a black man choosing signals because they feel as though black men are into them, so they won't flirt back with us, so they feel awkward talking with us, and vice versa. Black men are in a space where we're uncomfortable with black women. We feel as though they're not interested in us. They're talking this pasta and lobster. They're talking about all of this dumb stuff about, divesting from us. And we're hearing this stuff like, and they're not, and then it's reinforced by them not smiling at us, them not looking at us, them not really talking to us. So we've just had so many negative, and that's in addition to the feminist movement where women are calling guys creeps. Women are thinking that we're all evil and all of this other stuff with the patriarchy, and people wanting to put people on video camera for, approaching them and, creeping them out. And then, you're just having all of this other, these other, dynamics just between men and women, period, that black men and black women just don't interact well. Whereas since white men aren't a part of this space really, and they're not getting this negative feedback from black women, they feel comfortable approaching a black woman. I would feel comfortable approaching a woman of another gender if I know that she didn't have a problem with me. Also, if I know that she's making videos talking about I want some pasta and lobster and I want this and I want that and how to get a white man and how to get this. If I saw a bunch of Asian women making these trending videos about I want a black man and how to get a black man and this now, chicken and waffle season or whatever they wanted to call it, I would be approaching Asian women too, very comfortably, because I'll be like, hey, they into black men, so I'm going to shoot my shot. And I think that that's what's going on. I think white men feel very comfortable approaching black women, and black women are being very accommodating to white men because they're like, let me give this a shot and do something new, just like the Sanaa Lathan movie. But they're not doing that the same thing for regular black men. And so I think that that's why you see these non-interactions between black men and black women. And we really need to solve this. We really do. I don't think that this is a good way to go through life. And I think that the black race is definitely in trouble because if you go back and watch my previous videos, mixed kids will always choose, even though all mixed kids, when I say mixed kids, I'm talking about black kids mixed with something else. Because trust me, you don't hear, when was the last time you heard people talk about a mixed kid that was half Asian, half white? You don't hear anything. When people talk about mixed, it's always with a black and something else. Black and this, black and that. But you don't hear nothing about I'm half Latino, half white. I'm half Latino, half Asian, even though Latino was never a race. So I'll continue to say that. But you don't hear I'm half Asian and half white. You don't hear stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you this, regardless, when a child comes out of mixed heritage, that child eventually has to choose a race, because your race is not only just your genetics, your race is also your culture. So when that child grows up, they have to choose. Not unless they're going to just marry another half black, half white child or half black, half Asian child. Then they would just be marrying another black person. But more than less likely, what you see mixed people choosing white people. You see Sade, the singer Sade, Shamar Moore, Zendaya. You see Rashida Jones. Her sister Kidada chose black. Rashida chose white. You see Jennifer Beals, the girl from Flashdance. You see Troy Bayer. You see all of these people choosing white. So once again, and you look at Patrick Mahomes, he chose white. So once again, the black race is definitely in for some serious times if we do not learn to work out our differences between black men and black women and start giving each other a chance, start coming to the table with constructive conversation to say, what can we do better, to make engagements with you more enjoyable, or to make you even approach us, and vice versa. So both genders come together, have good conversations, and figure this out. If not, black race is done. And that's just my perspective on it. Once again, drop your comments in the comment section. Definitely hit the like button and also hit the subscribe and notification bell. This is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.